Okay, so the first thing, before starting this one, we need to have the software in your systems. Okay, the first thing is Java software you have to have, and also you have to have Eclipse. Okay, so let's see, how to download and install Java. Okay, so just go to Google. Okay, and search for. Let me. Yeah. Okay, so just go to Google. Okay, just search for Java download. Okay, just go to this link, oracle.com. Okay, not java.com, but go to this link, oracle.com. Go here. Okay, once you go here, you'll see different versions of Java, like Java 19, Java 17. So all these different versions of Java you will see. Okay, you can download like Java 17. Okay, that is fine. Or you can download Java version 1.8. Okay, so which is this one, Java 8. Okay, Java SC development kit 8U 351. Okay, so I have downloaded Java 17 in my system, but I will show you with the Java version 18, Java version 8. Okay, the reason why yeah, I mean at this moment you can download Java 8. Okay, but when it comes to Jenkins, okay, Jenkins is now supporting versions, Java versions of 11 and above. Okay, then you can download Java 17 at that moment. Okay, for now, let me show you how to download this version Java 8 and install it. Okay, once you go to this version here, Java 8, go to this link Windows. Okay, once you go into this, okay, this is the x86 installer and x64 based on whether it is 64-bit or 86-bit. Okay, you can take this one. Okay, a x64 installer. Okay, download this one. Okay, and download. Yeah, I have reviewed. Just click this one checkbox and click on download. Okay, you need to register for this Oracle account. Okay, if you don't have an account for Oracle, just create an account and register for it. Okay, so since I have already registered this one, okay, I'm just logging into this. Okay, so it has already started downloading. If you see, okay, if you see here, it is downloading here. Okay, basically this is an exe file. Okay, you can just start running this one. Okay, once you start running this one, it will start it will install on your system. Okay, but one thing you have to remember here is once you install this one, okay, you need to it will automatically set up the paths required on your system, but you have to make sure that there are two paths that are set up. Okay, once this is installed, let me show you where it will be installed. Okay, if you go to C drive, go to program files, okay, and you will see a folder as Java here. Okay, once you go here, it will be installed here under Java. Okay, since I have installed like Java 17.0.5 version, this is the version it is showing up. Okay, and you have to make sure that the environment paths are set up. Okay, so how do you set up the environment paths? Just go here and search for environment. Okay, just search here enva and it will show you edit the system environment variables. Okay, just click on this one. Okay, and you will see this kind of system properties. Go to environment variables here. Okay, if you go to environment variables, okay, then you will see like two things. One is user variables for HP. That means this is the current user that is logged in, and system variables. This is for all the users. Okay, so this is where we have to update the paths. There are two paths that you have to update. Okay, one is Java underscore home. Okay, if you see, this is the one. Okay, Java underscore home. Okay, If you don't find this one after installing Java, okay, just click on new here, and enter Java underscore home. Okay, and you have to give this path. Okay, so you have to give this JDK path here. Okay, so just click on this one and copy this path, copy this C colon program files Java JDK, whatever the version that you have installed, JDK 8 point something. Since I have installed like JDK 17.0.5, I'll copy this one and I'll put it here. Okay, and click on OK. Okay, so since I have already done it, like it is showing it as okay Java underscore home. Another variable that we have to update is you have to update this path variable. Okay, in the path variable, if you double click on this one, it will open. In the path variable, okay, make sure that like you have the path like here. If you see here, somewhere it will show like a Java. You have to give okay C here. Okay, it is showing like C program file Java JDK 17.0.5, and then the bin folder path you have to give here. Okay, so if you go here and click on this bin folder, okay, and copy this path, okay, and click on new, okay, you will see something like this. Just paste it here. Okay, since I have already done it, okay, it is showing me this path already, so I'm just canceling this one. Okay, so these are the two things you have to make sure that these paths are set up. Okay, so do you guys understand this one, or any questions for setting up the Java? Any questions?
Hey, Subbu, quick question. So why are we doing this from Oracle instead of directly from Java?
I'm sorry, why are we doing this instead of?
Why are we downloading the Java from Oracle link than directly from Java?
Okay, because Java is acquired by Oracle recently. Originally, it was introduced by Sun Microsystems. Okay, and then at that time, like they have this Java.com. So I never tried that one, like from Java.com. But later, it is acquired by Oracle Corporation. Java. Now,
Okay.
Oracle is the one who is maintaining this programming language, Java. Okay,
Okay.
that's why like I'm asking you from instead of Java. Okay,
Yeah.
so once you install this one, make sure that Java underscore home is set up. Okay, this should be set to the home path, which is nothing but okay JDK folder. Okay, JDK folder. Okay, and another one is you need to update the path variable in environment settings. Okay, which is till bin folder path. Okay, this one you can go into environment settings. Okay, just search with environment and you will see this environment settings, and you can see you can update these paths. Okay, once this is done, okay, you can see like whether Java is successfully installed or not. You have to check that one. Okay, let me go into the command prompt. Okay, I'll show you like how to test it. Okay, go to command prompt. Okay, I'm opening command prompt. In the command prompt, just say Java space hyphen version. Okay, once you type this command Java space hyphen version, okay, you will see the version of Java installed here, like 17.0.5. This is the version that is installed on my system. Okay, you have to see this version. If you see any error here saying like Java is not recognized as an internal or external command, then that means it is not installed properly on your system. If it is installed, all you have to do is just install the software and make sure that you are setting up these paths. Java underscore home is the one path and path is another one. Okay, you have to make sure that these two are set up. Once these two are set up, okay, that means if you type this command in command prompt Java space hyphen version, this has to show you the version of the Java software installed on your system. Okay, this is about installation of Java. Any questions on this one so far?
So, can you go back and explain those two steps again?
Okay, let me explain you one more time. Okay, so for installing Java, okay, just go to Google, okay, and type Java download. Okay, go to this Oracle link here. Is my screen clearly visible to all of you? You know?
Yes. Yes, Ibu, it's clear too.
Okay. Sorry, yeah. Can someone say something? Because like I think I just lost my microphone here. Microphone connection.
You are audible.
Okay, fine. Okay, so just go to Google and say Java download and go to this Oracle link, Java downloads. Okay, it will show you like multiple versions of Java that is there. You can install Java 17 because this is the one I tried. I think Java 19 recently came. Okay, Java 17. Okay, you can go here Java 17 and you can download here Windows. Okay, so x64 installer like okay, so you can download this x64 installer. Okay, this is an exe version. Yeah, you can download this one and install it, or you can go to Java 8 version and you can install this one. Okay, so just go here, go to Windows and download this x64-bit version. Okay, and install it. Once you install it, because this is an exe file that is downloaded. Okay, if you see here, this is an exe file. Okay, so once you install this one, okay, it has to set up the paths, but you have to make sure that these two paths are set up properly. What are the two paths that we have to set up? One is Java underscore home and another one is path. Where do we set them? In environment settings. So how do we set them? Just set it here with environment settings, env, and it will show you edit system environment variables or environment variables. Okay, it's not environment settings actually, it is environment variables. Okay, so just type it here env and it will show you like edit the system environment variables. Once you click on this one, it will show you this pop-up. Okay, in this one under advanced, okay, it will show you environment variables. Okay, just click on this environment variables. Okay, it will show you these two things. This one, the top one is like only for the current user that is logged into your system, but you can update it in the system variables. Okay, but remember one thing, like just in case of like if you go into like any organization, you won't be having access to this one. Okay, then you have if you want to like set up the paths, if the paths are not set up, and if you want to set up the paths, you have to update the settings here. Okay, in the real organization, you won't be having access to the system variables. Okay, you will be having access only to the user variables, so you can set it up there. Okay, but if it is on your own machine, you can update it here. Okay, so one thing is Java underscore home. Okay, so the first time if you don't see this variable setup on your system, click on new and type Java underscore home with capital letters here at the top, variable name, and variable value is the path to the JDK folder. Okay, so where is the JDK folder that we have here? So this is, okay, this is my JDK folder path. Okay, until this one. Okay, I have to copy this one and just paste it here in the new variable. Okay, Java underscore name and then the path to the JDK folder. Once this is done, then another variable that we have to update is path variable. Okay, the path variable will already be there. You don't have to like click on new and do this one. Just double click on this path one and make sure that like you have this bin folder set up here, bin folder path. If it is not there, then just go into the folder, okay, and go to the bin folder and copy this path here, copy this C colon program files Java JDK 17.0.5 and then till bin folder. Okay, till bin folder, copy that one and click on new. Okay, and paste it here until bin folder and then click on OK. Okay, so since I have already set this one up, I am canceling this one. Okay, so once these two things are done, okay, once these two things are done, in order to check whether it is installed correctly or not, just go to command prompt. Okay, how do you go to command prompt? Just click on the search button and type cmd. Okay, cmd, it will open the command prompt. Okay, once this is done, just type java space hyphen version. Okay, it has to show you the version of the Java software that is installed on your system. If this is showing correctly, that means Java is installed successfully on your system. Okay, any questions?
Subbu, what is the purpose of giving this path as a variable? What is the purpose?
Yeah, the purpose is like, whenever you are, not only with this one, generally what happens is whenever you install any new software, okay, so for especially like, for Java, we have some commands like Java and Java C. Okay, generally,
Okay.
if we use like Java C, okay, we write the programs in Java with extension .java. For example, let's say some example program is I'm writing. Okay, I write it with example.java. Okay, this is how, like, we create the programs. Okay, and
Okay.
when,
Okay.
once the program is written, you have to compile that program. How do you compile? We'll use these commands Java C and then compile this program Java C example. Okay, this is how we compile this program. But how does the system find out where this Java C command is? Java C command is nothing but this is some program, some Java program written somewhere. So where does it find? Okay, it will find it by using those paths that we have set up. For example, let me go here. Okay, so let me go here. Let me go to the bin folder. Okay, see, there is a Java C command here. Java C.
Actually, your
You
screen
took.
is like not visible properly. Like,
Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm not sure like how to make it. Okay, is it maximized like, on your system? Is the screen
no, no,
maximized?
it is maximized, but I think, yeah, yeah, it is maximized now. Yeah,
Okay, is it okay now? Are you able to see the
yeah, yeah,
screen?
yeah. Okay, okay for me.
Okay, so generally, like, we use these commands Java C, okay, and then the program name to compile this program. But how does the system know? Like, because it is installed on your system, but your system has to know where this Java C is, right, to compile this program. Okay, so
Yeah.
this
Okay,
is
okay,
by using the paths that we have set up. We have set up the home path and also the bin path. Okay, generally all these commands, they will be there in the bin folder. So it goes into that particular bin folder and it searches for that. If you see here, this is where we have this Java C's. That means Java
okay,
compiler. Okay, that's why we have to set up those paths. Okay, but
okay,
earlier, like, when Java was introduced, since there were no, like, there were no IDEs, people used to use these commands in command prompt. Now we won't use these commands because whatever the software that you use for writing the programs, that will take care of all these commands. Okay, so you don't have to
okay,
worry.
okay.
But even if the for
And it
the
is
software,
actually excellent.
yeah. So even if, like, even for the software to find out like where this command is, we have to set up these paths. Okay.
Okay, got it. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Now Java is installed successfully on your system. The next thing that you have to do is we have to install the software. Okay, for writing our programs. Okay, the softwares are generally called IDEs. Okay, integrated development environments. Okay, so one of the software, like, that we use for writing this Java programs is Eclipse. Okay, there are mainly two IDEs. One is IntelliJ. I will show you this IntelliJ. Just give me a second. Okay, so the IntelliJ IDEA, this is the one. Okay, that people use, but this is a paid one. Okay, and another one is Eclipse. Okay, Eclipse is the mostly used one because this is a free tool. Okay, just say Eclipse download. Okay, once you do this one Eclipse download, you will see like an eclipse.org downloads. Okay, just go to this one Eclipse downloads. Okay, once you go here, like, it will show you Eclipse IDE 2209. Like, you can just go to this download packages. Okay, just go to download packages. Okay, you will see all the different packages here. Okay, So you have like Eclipse IDE for Java developers. This is the one we have to download, but I will give you like in this one, this Eclipse IDE, Enterprise Java and web developers. Okay, this we have like multiple versions of this Eclipse software available. Okay, so for example, this one, the second one is like for web development. Okay, this mainly for developers like who does the web development. Okay, this is Eclipse IDE for that one. And for C++ developers, we have separate Eclipse version and Eclipse committers. Like this, we have different versions of Eclipse is there. But whatever we download is this one, Eclipse IDE for Java developers. Okay, so just download this Windows version. If you click on this one, it will start downloading the Windows version. Okay, sorry, you have to click on this download button again. Okay, you don't need to like download anything here. Okay, so it will start downloading. Okay, this is not an executable file. That means you don't need to install this one. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, so you don't need to install this Eclipse software on your machine. What you have to do is just download this one and unzip this Eclipse software. Okay, that's what you have to do. Okay, so it is still downloading. I'll just show you this one. I have already done it, like downloading and unzipping this one, but I just want to show you this one, but it is taking some time. But that's fine. Let's give like a few minutes. Okay, so it's not a problem from my side. Okay, my internet connection is good. Okay, this one. Okay, let it download. Okay, but what you have to do is once this is downloaded, okay, just copy it to a folder that you want. Okay, so in my case, what I have done is I have copied it to, let me go here. Okay, let me go into, I think it's in the D drive I have copied. Okay, yeah, so I have unzipped that one and I have copied to D drive. Okay, once you go here, okay, once you go into the folder, you will see this specific icon Eclipse. Okay, so you just need to start this one. Okay, let me close my existing one. Okay, this one I have already opened it here. So let me close this one. Okay, and I will show it to you. Okay, so once you unzip this one, copy it to some specific drive. Okay, and store it there. And once you go into this, you will see this one, Eclipse. Okay, so just double click on this one. Even for this Eclipse to run, you have to have Java installed on your system. If Java is not installed on your system, Eclipse will throw an error saying that, okay, you have to have Java installed on your system. Okay, so once it starts, the first thing is select a directory as a workspace. It will show you some default directory like Eclipse workspace or something. Okay, you can use that one. Okay, this is not, what is a workspace basically. Okay, this workspace is nothing but a folder on your Windows. Okay, which holds all the projects that you are going to create. Okay, so in this case, it is showing like D colon training workspace. Okay, I have used like this words like training workspace. Okay, if this folder is not there, it will create that folder. Okay, so if I go to D drive, since I have already created that one, okay, so you'll see this like training workspace here. Okay, training workspace. Okay, this is what like it will create. And what is this workspace? Basically, it is nothing but a folder. This training workspace is nothing but a folder on your machine. Okay, which holds all the projects that you are going to create in this workspace. For example, okay, I have created like all these different kinds of projects in this one. Okay, don't worry about this one. Amazon Business. This is just a script I have created for fetching the products from Amazon website. Okay, so all the other things like Java training, Selenium BDD, Selenium project, Selenium training reports, like so all these things like I have created here. Okay, these are the different projects I have created in this workspace, trying workspace. Okay, so after this one, just click on launch. Okay, so it is launching now. Okay, once it is launched successfully, okay, then we just close all these things, all these programs. Okay, so this is what you'll see. Okay, so do you understand until this point how to download Eclipse and how to start it? Okay, now if you see this is already downloaded. Okay, just let me go to this folder. Okay, you just need to unzip this one, extract files. Okay, well, it takes some time because this is a big one actually. Okay. Okay, so this is what like an unzip. Just go into this one. Just copy this folder, Eclipse folder, to some different drive. Okay, this is because this is in downloads. Okay, just go here and you'll see this one, Eclipse. Okay, and you can start this one, and I explained you about like the workspace. Okay, once that is done, that workspace is created. Okay, this is how initially like it will be blank for you. Okay, initially everything will be blank. There won't be like in any projects here, and okay, so this is how you will see. Okay, so let me explain you this one. Okay, on the left hand side, okay, you will see all the projects that that you create. Okay, for example, you will see like these are the different projects I have created. I will show you how to create a project. Okay, on the left hand side, you will see all the projects that you are going to create. Okay, on the right hand side, top one, this is where we write the programs. Okay, so and this downside you'll see different tabs here, like problems, Java doc, declaration, console, etc. Okay, normally console is the one that we use, where if we want to print any output to the console, okay, we can print it and we can view the result here. Okay, so this is the initial one that you will see. Okay, so let any questions until this point? Okay, fine. Okay, so let me show you. Let me start creating a project. On the left hand side, you will see all the projects. On the right hand side, top one, we will write any program that we want. And down on the bottom side, you under the console, you will see the output. Okay. First, let me create a project. So, how do we create a here? You will see like different tabs here, like file, edit, navigate. This is the menu that we will see. Okay. So, for creating a project, just click on this file. Okay, click on new. Okay, once you click on new, you will see different things here. Okay, a Java project we can create a package, we can create a class. This is nothing but the program that we are going to create. Okay, these three things, just remember: Java project, package, and class. These are the ones. Also interface also we'll use. Okay, enums like we'll use very rarely. Okay, so these are the different things that if you don't see anything like Java project here, okay, this is the basic project that we are going to create. Okay, if you don't see this option Java project here, click on this other. Okay, click on this one. Click on this one and search it here Java. Okay, and you will see here like Java project. Okay, so let me explain it to you one more time. Click on this file. Okay, and go to the new. Here under new we have something called, you should be seeing like Java project. If you don't see this Java project here, click on this other. Okay, and use Java project. Okay, and you'll see this Java project. Select this one, click on next. Okay, give this project like some name. Okay, give this project some name. Okay, so the project name I'm giving is let us say like Selenium batch or like Java something, some project name Java batch I'm giving. Okay, this is my project. Okay, so here like it is showing that like this is what like we have Java version 1.8. If you have this version 1.8, like that's fine. That means the compiler is going to use like this kind of version, or I can select like Java 17 also. Okay, that is not a problem. But click on finish. Okay, see now this project is created. Just make sure that on the right hand side it shows you some kind of a progress bar. Just wait until that progress bar is completed. Here in this case it is completed very quickly, but that's why you are not seeing anything on the right hand side bottom, but generally it shows you some progress bar. Okay, now this is completed. So let me go into this Java bar batch. Okay, so this is how it will be created here. Okay, so this is the library, like this is the JRE system library where it downloads like all the files that are needed. These are all like Java jar files. Okay, different jar files that are needed for creating your program. You don't touch this one. Okay, just this is where the source folder you are seeing here. This is where we write our programs. Okay, so this is how we created a project here. Okay, after creation of the project, the next thing that we generally do is we create a package. Okay, let me show you this one. Okay, so for installing Java, I have explained it like how to install Java. Okay, and how to test it here in the first one lecture on installing Java and Eclipse, and just need to update the paths here. What are the paths that you have to make sure that they are updated? Okay, I'll update this one. Okay, and the next one is okay, within this Java and installing Java. Okay, so this for Eclipse installation, I have shown you here. Okay, so Eclipse users okay, workspace and everything I have explained. Okay, initially you may see the screen if it is the first time. Okay, so you can click on this workbench icon. Let me maximize the screen. Okay, initially when you start like Eclipse, you will see the screen. Just click on this workbench icon. Okay, since I have already started it many times, I'm not seeing the screen, but initially you'll see the screen. You'll see something like a workbench here on the right hand side. Just click on this link if you see this one. Okay, so this one, and then after this one, okay, so this is how you will see it initially. You won't see anything here on the left hand side. Okay, on the right hand side, like here we write a program, and at the bottom, like you'll see the console and everything. Okay, initially you may not be seeing the console, but once you start write a program, and once you start executing the program, you will see that console here. Okay, don't worry about this one. Okay, you don't need like the right one here. Okay, so now let me see. Okay, so for creating a project, just go to, yeah, you can also do this one, like go to file, new project, but instead of this one, we are using a Java project. Oh, yeah, see, Java project we are creating. We are selecting this Java project, and uh, we are using that one. Okay, after selecting this Java project, let me just minimize a little bit. Okay, so after selecting the Java project, let me, okay, so just give a name to the project and click on finish, and it will create a project here. So this is something like a first project that I have created in this one. Okay, so everything is described here. Okay, so now the project is created. The next thing is we have to do is we have to create a package. Package is nothing but it is to group the programs that you are creating, to group the Java programs. We'll create different packages. Okay, so if I go to Eclipse, Okay, so now this is the Java batch program project that I have created. Now the next thing I have to do is I have to create a package. So how do you create a package? Just on the source folder, right click on this one. Okay, once you right click on this one, okay, go to new. Okay, you will see something called package. Okay, just click on this one. Okay, generally packages are given in the reverse order of the domain name. In the reverse order of the domain name. Okay, for example, my site's domain name is subustech.com. Okay, so you can say like com.subustech. This is how the package names are given. Okay, in the reverse order of the domain name. Okay, for now you don't need this one. You can just create any package, but just remember that the packages names are given in the reverse order of the domain name. Okay, so if it is like some IBM that you are working for, okay, com.ibm. Okay, you can also extend it. For example, you are working on some finance department. Okay, so you can say like finance, com.ibm.finance. Okay, this is how we generally create packages. Okay, but instead of this, like for the time being, for practice purpose, you can just give some name. I'm giving like first package. Okay, and generally the package name starts with small letters. Okay, you can give capital letters also, that's not a problem. It just shows you a warning saying that okay, discouraged package name. By convention, package names usually start with a lowercase letter. Okay, so I'm just giving a lowercase letter, first package. The name of the package that I'm giving is first package. Okay, click on finish. Okay, now this first package is created. Okay, once the package is created, then we'll create the actual program under this. So how do we create the actual program on this? Under this, just click on this first package and right click on this one, go to new, and you'll see something called class. Okay, once you click on this class, okay, so this is what you'll see. We have to give a name to this class. Okay, how do we give the name? We'll give it as first program. Let's say first program. Okay, so this is how you can do. But generally, again, the class names, that means the program names, are usually started with capital letters. Okay, type name is discouraged by convention. If you see the warning message here, okay, the type name is discouraged by convention. Java type names usually start with an uppercase letter. Okay, so let me give an uppercase letter here. The first package. Oh, sorry, I have updated the package name here, not the class name. Okay, now let me cancel this one. Okay, let me go here. Let me click on new, click on class. Okay, and first program. Okay, so I have started this one with a capital letter. Okay, generally project names they start with the capital letters. Okay, package names start with lowercase letters, and again class names, that means the programs that you are going to create, those starts with capital letters. Okay, these modifiers, okay, we have different kinds of modifiers like public, private, protected, default, etc. So generally you can take this public modifier for, at this moment. I will explain you in the later chapters what are these access modifiers. These are called access modifiers. Okay, I'll explain you what these access modifiers are. Okay, and then you can click on finish. Okay, at this moment, like just use this program. You just only use this one name and then click on finish. Okay, now I have clicked on finish. Okay, so this is how it will be created. Okay, so do you guys understand until this point how to set up the workspace and how to create a new project, how to create a new package, and also how to create a new program?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, so
So
now
one question.
yeah.
So where we will get those libraries?
Yeah,
Once I click on that library, GR system
yeah,
library.
yeah.
So Okay, if you want to have any extra ones, if you want to add
We'll come
the
to that.
system does.
Okay. Yeah, we'll come to that. Okay. These are the default libraries given by Java. Okay. Arrays and everything in this one. Okay. If you want to have like external libraries, we have to add them to the project. I'll show you later, like when we come to that point, when we are using some external libraries, I will show you how to add those external libraries. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, fine. So now we have created a project. So what does it start with? It starts with a package name. What is the package that this program is there? Okay, the package name is first package. Okay, this is the package name. Okay, and how does the class starts? It starts with the access modifier public and the keyword class and then the program name that we gave here. Okay, first program. Okay, this is how it started. Okay, so in every class, the execution starts from a method called main method. Okay, so how do we write the main method? We can write it public static void main and string square brackets space args. Okay, this is how the main method will be written at this moment. Just to remember this one. Okay, so main method, and also you have to practice this one, public static void main. I will explain you all these things, like what is public is an access modifier. We have different access modifiers and we will see all those access modifiers in the future chapters. And static is a non-access modifier. Okay, and we'll see about what are these static variables, static methods, static classes, static blocks, and all those things in the future chapters. Void means it is the return type. What does this method returns? Okay, void means it returns nothing. Okay, and main is the method name. Okay, and these are the parameters that this method accepts. It accepts an array of strings. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, just for the time being, just remember this one. This is public static void main. Okay, and if you are a very beginner in Java and if you don't know anything about this, just practice this one a couple of times. Public static void main. Okay, and also there is one more thing. Okay, and if you want to print something to the console, we'll use something called system dot out dot println. Okay, I'll say something like yeah, hello world. Okay, finally, we have to give a semicolon here. Okay, so this line system.out.println, it prints whatever you are passing within this double quotes, it prints to the console. Okay, if you are a beginner in Java, if you don't know anything about this programming language, just create a new project, create a new package, create a new program under that one, and write this method. Okay, public static void main string arguments. Okay, and then type this one system.out.println. That means we are printing something to the console. Okay, system.out.println and write something. Just practice this one. Okay, so okay, now we have written this one. How do we execute this one? To execute this one, just right click on this one, go to run as. Okay, you'll see an option called run as and Java application. Run as Java application. Just click on this one. Okay, and you will see hello world here. Okay, so this is, whatever you change it here, okay, you can print it. Welcome. Okay, and if I run this one, run as Java application. Okay, you'll see this one here in the console. Okay, so what I suggest is, if you are a very beginner, if you don't know anything about Java programming language, just practice this one. Okay, you have to remember public static void main. It takes an array of strings. We will see what are arrays in the future chapters. Okay, string square brackets and then arguments and then system.out.println. Okay, so for example, if I again use something system.out.println Okay, system.out.println and something like, hello world, welcome. Okay, hello world. Okay, if I run this one, run as Java application, you'll see welcome and hello world. Okay, okay. So there are like, two methods here. One is print ln. Ln means it prints in the new line. Okay, there is another method system.out.print. Okay, if I don't use this system.out.print ln, if I use print, it will be printed in the same line. Okay, let me show you this one. Run as Java application, and it will be printed in the same line. Okay, there's a difference between print and print ln. Ln means new line. Okay, the output will come in a new line. Okay, so just practice this one. Practice with system.out.println. Okay, just practice it a couple of times. Okay, now let me go into the documentation. Okay, so we have seen like, how to create a new package, and once the package is created, okay, this is how you'll see it. Once that is done, okay, we have created a new program by going into new and then class. Okay, once that is done, okay, we have given a name to the class file. Okay, and we have created a new project. Sorry, new class. First program we have created. Okay, so in this one here we have manually created like everything, but when you are creating a new class here, just go to class. When you are creating a new, for example, I'm giving like second program. This is my second program. You will see something like public static void main option here. Which method stubs would you like to create? You can select this one. If you select this one and click on finish, it will automatically create this main method for you. Okay, it will automatically create the main method for you. So you can directly use system.out.println, system.out.println, and use a semicolon at the end of this one and run as Java application. Okay, but what I suggest you is initially when you are practicing, don't select this option. Okay, don't select this public static void main option. You just write it on your own public static void main and practice this one. Okay, so this is how we create a project in Java. How do we create a project in Java? Just go to file, go to new, and click on Java project or other, and search with the Java project here. Okay, and select this one and give a name to this. Okay, give a name to this and click on finish, and it will create a project for you. Okay, once a project is created, how do you create a package? Under the source folder, right click on the source folder and go to new and click on package. Okay, so when you are creating a package, the convention is create it with small lowercase letters. Okay, and once that is done, once the package is created, how do you create a new program? Generally, we say that it's a class file that we are going to create. Just right click on this one, go to new and click on class. And the convention is class names or Java program, they generally start with capital letters, uppercase letters. Okay, and these are the modifiers, and you can select this public static void main so that when the program is created, okay, it will automatically come up with this public static void main. But for the practice purpose, just don't use this option at this moment. Okay, just start start writing the public static void main on your own. Okay, so this is about the setup for Java and Eclipse. Okay, any questions so far?
No problem.
Okay, fine.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, okay. Okay, now let me go into the, let me just see this one. Okay, so this is the end of this one. Okay, the next one is we have to, okay, just go here. Okay, Java basics. Okay, I think I have already opened that one. This is the one. Okay, Java basics. Okay, so what is Java? Basically, Java is a programming language that was introduced by Sun Microsystems. Okay, this is an object-oriented programming language. But just remember that Java is not an 100% object-oriented programming language. It is not an 100% object-oriented programming language because we have something called primitive. Not everything is an object in Java. Okay, because we have some primitive data types also in Java. Okay, I will show you like what are those data types and all those things. But at this moment, Java is an object-oriented programming language, but it's not an 100% object-oriented programming language. 100% object-oriented programming language is Python. Python is an 100% object-oriented programming language. Okay, okay, that's fine. But okay, so it was first released by Sun Microsystems in 1995. Okay, later it is acquired by Oracle. Okay, it was originally introduced by Sun Microsystems. It was acquired by Oracle later. Okay, so what does Java mainly contains? Java contains mainly three things. One is JVM, Java Virtual Machine, and another one is JRE, Java Runtime Environment, and another one is JDK, Java Development Kit. Okay, so what is JVM? Okay, JVM is nothing but Java Virtual Machine, which is okay, so which is responsible for loading the code and verifying the code and executing the code. These are the three things that this JVM does. Okay, it loads the code, it verifies the code, and it executes the code. Okay, that is what this JVM does. Okay, what is JRE? JRE means Java Runtime Environment. Okay, JRE is used to provide the runtime environment. It contains a set of libraries and other files plus JVM. Okay, that's why JVM is inside this JRE. It contains JVM plus libraries and other files. JDK. What is JDK? Java Development Kit. JDK is nothing but Java Development Kit. Okay, this is what we use for writing our program. It contains JRE plus some development tools. Okay, so what is Java mainly contains? It contains three things. One is JDK, JRE, and JVM. What is JVM? JVM is Java Virtual Machine. What is it responsible for? It is responsible for loading the code, for verifying the code, and for executing the code. And what is JRE? JRE is nothing but Java Runtime Environment. It provides a runtime environment. It contains JVM plus some libraries and other files. JDK. What is JDK? JDK is Java Development Kit. What does it contain? It contains JRE plus some development tools. Okay, so this is about what Java contains. Now, coming to the JVM architecture. Okay, so we have seen this one here, like in this picture, we have seen JVM. Okay, so what is JVM responsible for? Java Virtual Machine. It is for loading the code, for verifying the code, and also for executing the code. So let's see the architecture of JVM. Okay, this is what JVM is. JVM generally contains like method area, heap area, stack memory, heap memory, stack memory, PC registers, and native method stack. Okay, and we also have a class loader subsystem, and we also have an execution engine. Okay, all the native methods and native method libraries, they are all here. That means what are the jar files that are provided by Java, they'll be here. Okay, now class loader subsystem. What is this class loader subsystem? What are the class files that are created? Okay, they all will be loaded into JVM using this class loader subsystem. Okay, and what does it contain? JVM mainly it contains method area, heap memory, stack memory, PC registers, and native method stack. Okay, so the class loader subsystem takes a class file as an input and perform the following operations. Okay, so it takes whatever the class files that we have created. Okay, it's not actually the class files, but when we are writing a program, like you can see this extension .java. Okay, normally if we don't have like this Eclipse, we have to compile these programs by using Java C command. But after we are having like these IDEs, Eclipse or IntelliJ, we don't have to compile this one. While we are writing the program, it will automatically compile and create .class files. Okay, let me show you here. The programs we are writing is with extension .java. Okay, once we compile, .class files will be created. Okay, where in almost like 10 years back or like 15 years back, when we don't have these IDEs like Eclipse or JE, we use this command in the command prompt Java C. Okay, first program. Okay, this is how we used to compile these Java programs. But now we don't need to do this one. Once you start writing a Java program, automatically this IDE will compile this program into class files and they will be created automatically. Okay, you don't have to worry about the compilation part. Okay. Okay. So those class files that are compiled, okay, they will be loaded into JVM by using this class loader subsystem. Okay, so we have these different things here, right? Method area, heap memory, stack memory, PC registers, native method stack. So what is this method area stores? It stores all the class code, method code, and class variables declared. Okay, we'll discuss for now. Just remember this one. We'll discuss about some of the terminology here, because some of these terminologies you are not aware of this terminology at this moment. But once we cover these chapters in future, then you will understand this terminology. Okay, but method area, it stores the class code, method code, and class variables. Heap memory. Heap memory, it stores all the objects created and also the instance variables that are created. They are stored in the heap memory. Okay, this is JVM stack area, and this is also called stack memory. Okay, the stack memory, it stores the information of the methods at runtime, and also it stores the local variables. Okay, PC registers, it stores the address of the next information that has to be executed. Native method stack or Java native stack, it stores the non-Java coding available in Java code, for example, comments. Execution engine, once all this is stored into the JVM, this execution engine, it is responsible for executing the program. Okay, for now just remember this one. We'll see more the major things are, just remember this heap memory and stack memory. Okay, and what do they store? Heap memory stores the objects that are created in Java and also instance variables. Stack memory stores the local variables and also the references of the objects that are created in the heap memory. Okay, for now we'll discuss it in future also, once everything, what are these class variables, what these methods, what are these local variables. Once all these are covered, then I will explain you one more time this one. Okay, but for now just remember that. Okay, so in JVM we have method area, heap memory, stack memory, PC registers, and native method stack. Okay, and we have a class loader subsystem which is responsible for loading the class files into JVM, and this execution engine is responsible for executing the program. That's what you have to remember at this moment. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, fine. Now let me go into the next one, which is basics, Java basics. Okay, so this one we have already covered. So I think, yeah, installing Java. So Java basics interview questions. Okay, so interview questions. Now coming to the Java basics. Okay, what is the so all these questions have classified them as low importance, medium importance, and high important questions. Okay, so just low importance means if you are a very beginner, if you apply for a job in automation as a fresher, okay, then they may ask these kind of questions. Otherwise, if you put it 2 years of experience, okay, then they won't ask you these kind of questions, because these are very basic questions. Okay, so what is the most important feature of Java? Okay, Java is basically platform independent. Platform, also what does it mean by platform? Platform means your operating system. Mine is a Windows-based operating system, Windows platform. Okay, someone else might have Unix platforms. Okay, Solaris platforms, so like that. Okay, Java is platform independent. So what does it mean by Java is platform independence? Okay, platform independence means that we can write the code and compile the Java code in one platform and execute the class in any other supported platform. Example, Linux, Solaris. Okay, for example, in this one we are using this one. Okay, we have created a program on a Windows platform, and this program is compiled. Okay, and those compiled class files can be executed in any other platforms, like this the class file that is created here, I can execute it on Linux or Solaris or anywhere, any other platform. Okay, that is what it is meant by platform independence. Why Java is platform independent? Okay, why it is in Java is platform independent. In any programming language, source code is compiled to executable code. This cannot be run across all platforms. Okay, in the other programming languages, when it is compiled, it is turned into like executable code, but it cannot be executed on all the other platforms. But in Java, okay, this Java C command, right? That is what it is used. It will use to compile the Java programs. When Java C compiles a Java program, it generates an executable file called .class file. Okay, this one we have already discussed. Okay, the class file contains byte codes. Okay, byte codes are interpreted by JVMs. Since these JVMs are made available across all platforms, we can execute this byte code in any platform. Okay, let me show you this one. Okay, let me go into google.com, Java download. Okay, if I go into this Java download, okay, see here we have different operating systems like Linux, Mac operating system, and Windows. Okay, so what are these? These are all the different JVM versions that we are downloading. Okay, for example, for Windows, I have downloaded this one. Okay, for if my machine is a Linux machine, I will download like one of these. If my machine is a Mac operating system, then I will download one of these. That means I'm downloading the JVMs, different JVMs for that particular platform. Okay, once I have that JVM, okay, whatever the class file that I have created here, I can execute those class files on those JVMs. That means Java is platform independent because the class files that are created, they will be created in bytecode and they can be executed. But JVMs are not platform independent. That's why you are seeing like different versions of JVMs here. We are not seeing like just one version of JVM that can be installed on any platform. We have like different versions here. Okay, so you have to have the corresponding version of JVM installed on the system. Once you have that one, so wherever on whatever the platform that you create a JVM file, okay, you can execute whatever the platform, you can create a class file, you can execute on any other machine. Okay, that is what it says. The most unique feature of Java is platform independent. In any programming language, source code is compiled into executable code. This cannot be run across all platforms. When Java C compiles a Java program, it generates an executable file called .class file. This .class file contains byte code. Byte codes are interpreted by JVMs, and these JVMs, we have different JVMs for different platforms, and these JVMs are made available across all platforms. We can execute this bytecode in any platform. Bytecode generated in Windows environment can also be executed in Linux environment. But this Linux machine should have its own JVM. Okay, this makes platform independent. Okay, so what is JVM? Java is a JVM is Java virtual machine, which is a runtime environment for compiled Java class files. JVM, it loads the code, it verifies the code, and it executes the class files produced by the compilers. Okay, are JVMs platform independent? No, JVMs are not platform independent. We have just seen this one. We have like multiple JVMs for different operating systems. Okay, so JVMs are not platform independent. JVMs are platform specific runtime implementation provided by the vendor. Okay, what is the difference between JDK and JVM? JDK is nothing but Java development kit, which is used for development environments. It internally contains JVM also. Okay, it mainly contains JRE plus development tools. JRE contains Java runtime environment that contains JVM. But what is JVM? JVM is nothing but Java virtual machine, which is used for execution of your code. Okay, okay. What are the different kinds of memory that we have in Java? Okay, we have seen earlier like the JVM architecture, right? So we have seen mainly two kinds of memory. One is stack memory and heap memory. Okay, this is a medium kind of question. Okay, people may ask you in the interviews like what are the different kinds of memory that we have in Java. So stack memory and heap memory. What is stack memory store? Stack memory mainly stores the local variables and also references of the objects created in heap memory. So what does heap memory stores? Heap memory stores the objects that we are going to create, and also it stores the instance variables. Okay, static memory stores primitive types, that means primitive data types, local variables, and addresses of the objects. Okay, references means addresses of the objects, and object values are stored in heap memory, and an object reference on the stack is only an address. Yeah. Okay, so this is different kinds of memory that we have in Java. Okay, so these are the basic interview questions on this first chapter. Any questions, guys, so far? Okay, fine. Now let me go into like,
So
yeah.
actually, I have a question like, do you have a same versions of JDK in all other platforms also to run the code
JDK,
independently?
JDK is
Same
nothing but
versions?
JDK is nothing but like the Java development kit. Okay, it is same like in everywhere, but it's only the JRE like Java runtime environment that refers from different platforms.
Okay, got it.
Okay, okay. Now, yeah. Any other questions? Okay, fine. Now let me go into like what is a class and object in Java. Okay, as you know, Java is an object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming means like we'll definitely have classes in any object-oriented programming. Okay, so what is a class? We have seen this one earlier. This program. Okay, class. A program in Java is written with class declaration. If you have seen this earlier. Okay, so the programs are generally written like with the class declaration. You should have this class keyword. Okay, this is the basic plan using which we create objects. All the program is enclosed in a class definition. So whatever the programs that we are going to write, they should be enclosed in a within this class. So whatever you write, first you have to create a class here, and within that class you have to write all the programs. Okay, the body of the program is contained in the main method. Okay, that means like main method is a starting method. Okay, when you start executing a program in Java, the execution it starts from the main method. Okay, this is what you have to remember. Okay, in Java, execution starts from main method. An object is an instance of a class. Okay, so this is the basic class. An object is nothing but an instance of that class. An object is an instance of this class. Okay, we'll see like how do we create an object for this one, but for now just remember that a class is nothing but a basic plan. An object is nothing but an instance of the class. Okay, let me give you a general example. Okay, for example, you want to construct a house. What do you need to have? You need to have a plan, right? House plan. House plan you have to have, right? The plan is nothing but a class. Okay, and using that plan, let's say you have created something. You have constructed a house. Okay, that actual house is nothing but an object, because using that plan you have created, you have constructed a house. Okay, that house plan is nothing but class. The actual house that is constructed is nothing but an object. Okay, so if you want to construct a house, you will have plan. The plan is nothing but a class. The constructed house is nothing but an object. Okay, now using the same plan, you can also construct like multiple houses, right? It's not like just house, one house. If you have the land, like you can construct multiple houses using that plan, using the same plan. Okay, that means you can create any number of objects using a class. Okay, if you create a class, you can create a number of objects. Okay, each and every house might differ in the number of rooms, etc. Okay, for example, if one house may contain like a double bedroom house, or another house might be a triple bedroom house, something like that. Okay, that means the objects will differ in their properties. Okay, so generally objects like what does a class contain? A class contains properties and functionalities. Properties are nothing but variables, and functionality is nothing but methods that we have in a class. So an object might differ in the properties. That means the variable values that it holds, it may differ in their properties. Okay, Now let me show you this example to you. Okay, so I'm creating a new class here. Okay, this class is house. Let me see whether I have created a separate class for this one. Let me create one class here, which is house plan and create. This is a class and create. Okay, so this house plan. Okay, I'm just giving it like, okay, so int number of rows. Okay, similarly int number of balconies. Okay, so this is the house plan that I have. The number of rooms are initially I have declared two variables. These are called variables. Okay, and this is the data type, integer data type. We will see like more about what these data types are. Okay, so I have created a class initially, and this class contains number of rooms as one variable, that means property, and number of balconies is another variable. This is another property. Okay, now I will write like what public static void main method string args. Okay. Okay. So this is the class that I have. Let's say. Okay. Now I have to create an object for this one. Okay. How do I create an object? We have to use the keyword called new. Okay. So how do we create this one? I have to use the class name house plan. Okay. This is the first house I'm creating. House plan house one equals to new house plan. Okay, so this is how we create an object. We use the class name and we give a name to the object. The name that I have given is house one equals to, I have to use new keyword and then I have to use the class name again and close it with brackets. Okay, this is how I have created an object. Now I'll say that this house one contains, okay, house one dot number of rooms. Okay, so let's say this is a two-bedroom house. Okay, so number of rooms is equal to 2, and house one dot number of balconies is equal to 2. Let's say, okay, this is how I'm creating this one. Okay, so I have created I have constructed a house with 2 bedroom and 2 balconies, which contains 2 bedrooms and 2 balconies. Okay, now let me create another another. Okay, so house plan house 2 equals to new house. Okay, this is what I have constructed another house, but now the second house contains house 2 dot number of rooms equals to 3 and house 2 dot, okay, number of balconies equals to 2. That means the second house that I have constructed contains 3 rooms and 3 balconies. Okay, now if I flip this one, system dot out dot internal, just practice this one guys. Okay, system dot out dot internal. Okay, system dot out dot internal. Okay, house 1 number of rooms plus, okay, house 1 the number of, okay, let me copy the same thing, and number of house 1 number of balconies, okay, dot number of balconies. Let me copy the same thing again. Okay, so the next one is house 2, okay, house 2 dot number of rooms, okay, and house 2 the number of balconies. Okay, do you guys understand this one? Okay, I have created a house plan initially. So this is my class which contains the 2 variables. We'll see like these are called instance variables. We'll see like what these are in future. But for now, just try to understand the concept of what is a class and what is an object. Okay, So now I have these two things, number of rooms and number of balconies. And I have a main method. So in this main method, what I have done is I have created the first object, which is house one. So how do I create an object for this one? I have to use the class name first, which is house plan. And then I have to give a name to this object equals to, I have to use new keyword and then house plan. Okay. And now for this house, okay, I have this number of rooms. I will access these variables using a dot symbol here. Object dot, okay, that variable equals to 2. And number of balconies equals to 2. And I have created another object here, which is house plan, house 2. House 2 dot number of rooms equals to 3. House 2 dot number of balconies equals to 3. And now I am printing them. Okay, system dot out dot println house 1 number of rooms. Okay, generally we use like double quotes to print anything to them. And then I'm using plus symbol. We are concatenating this one to this one. Okay, I have to use a plus symbol here. Plus house 1 dot number of rooms. Okay, similarly this one house 1 dot number of balconies. Similarly for the second house, that means the second object, I'm printing the number of rooms and number of balconies. Okay, so let me right click on this one as Java application. Okay, so house 1 number of rooms are 2, house 2, house 1 number of balconies are 2, and house 2, that means the second object created, the number of rooms are 3 and the number of balconies are 3. Okay, so this is how we create a class and an object. So now what is a class? Which is nothing but a basic plan, or it is nothing but a blueprint, it's a template. And what is an object? An object is nothing but an instance. Okay, and in instance, the objects might differ in properties and functionality. Properties are nothing but these variables that we have created. Okay, so these objects, if you see the house 1 and house 2, they differ in the properties. That means they differ in the variable values. The first one, first object contains 2 rooms and 2 balconies. The second object contains 3 rooms and 3 balconies. That means the objects may differ in the properties and also functionalities. Functionality is nothing but methods. We will see them in future. Okay. So let me go into the document here. So yeah, so I have given you this example, and I have showed you this one. Okay. So do you understand, like, what is a class and an object? Just remember this general example, like, constructing a house. You should have a house plan. That house plan is nothing but a class. That means there is a blueprint, there is a template. And using that one, let's say you have constructed a house. Okay, the house is nothing but the actual object. Okay, but you can create a number of houses using the blueprint, right? That means you can create a number of objects. Here I have shown like only 2 objects here, house 1 and house 2. You can create a number of objects for this one. Each one differing in their own properties and functions. Okay, any questions on this one so far? Okay, fine. Let me go into the next chapter. Okay, class and objects interview questions. Okay, so what is a class? A class is simply a representation of the type of object. It's the blueprint, plan, or template that describes the details of an object. Okay, so that means like describe the in our previous example, you have seen the number of rooms, number of balconies, all those things, right? So that's what let me describe. What is the base class of all the classes? Just remember this one. Every class, whatever the class that we are going to, we are creating in Java, or what are the classes that are provided by Java, they are the base class is object class. Java.lang.object. Object class is the base class for all the classes in Java. Okay. So explain about main method in Java. Okay, main method is the starting point of execution because that's where the execution starts from for any class, for any program. Okay, so this is the starting point of execution for all Java application. Public static void main string args. Okay, string args means it is an array of strings. We'll see like what are arrays and what are strings in future. But for now, just remember that main method accepts an array of strings. Okay, and string or an array of we need to pass from like command line arguments. Every Java application must have at least one main method. Yeah. Okay. What actually this is wrong actually. This is not correct. We don't need to have like main method actually. Okay. Fine. What is the argument of main method? What is the argument of main method? It is an array of strings. Thus, the order of public static declaration matter in main method. Okay. So we have this one, right? So we have like a let me go here. Let me go into the first program. So we have public static void main. Okay, does this other like we don't need to have this other. I can have it as static public also. Okay, static public also and run as Java application. It will print like a welcome and hello world. But these should come before void, before this return type. You can have static public, okay, or you can have public static. Okay, this order doesn't matter, okay, but we should have it before. Yeah. Okay, so no, not required. Okay, no, it doesn't matter, but void should always come before main. Okay, now what class is extended by all other classes? Object class. Okay, should main method be compulsorily declared in all Java classes? No, not required. It's not required to declare all the main method in all the Java classes. Let me show you this example here. An example. Okay, so let's say this is the house plan that I had, right? So let me create like another class here. I'm creating another class house. Okay, let me have this. Okay, let me go here. Let me remove this. Okay, I don't have like any main method here. I just have only these variables. Okay, house plan. Okay, now in the actual house, if I go here, okay, I would like to use this house plan. So I have to create an object for this one because I want to use this number of rooms and number of balconies. This is my house plan basically. Okay, so here like what I can do, I can do it like house plan, house one, house two. This is how to create an object. Okay, so that means we are creating an object for this house plan. Okay, now let's say house one dot number of rooms equals to 3, house one dot number of balconies equals to 3, and I'll say system dot output println. Okay, number of rooms in house one are okay, plus house one dot number of rooms. Okay, system dot output println number of balconies house one are plus house one dot number of. So what I have done here, I haven't like I don't have any main method in this one. I just created a program. Okay, but I created an object of this house plan in a different class, and I'm assigning some values to the variables that I have created in the class, and I'm accessing those variables. So if I run this one now, run as Java application, okay, and it will print this one. Okay, so that means like you don't need to have a main method. So, but what happens if you don't have a main method? For example, this house.java, it has a main method. That's why it is showing us run as Java application. Okay. If you don't have a main method, because main method is the starting point for execution of any program. Okay. If you don't have a main method, if you go into run as, it won't show you like run as Java application. That is the difference because you don't have a main method. Okay, if they provide you like run a Java application, it doesn't know where to start. If I execute this one, that's why first of all, they won't provide you the run as Java application option. Okay, if you have a main method, then only you will see run as Java application. Okay, now this is the one. Okay, so yeah, class and interview questions. Okay, so we don't need to have a main method in the class. Okay, Now, what is the return type of main method? Main method doesn't return anything. That's why the return type is void. Public static void. Void is the return type. Void means it doesn't return anything. The different kinds of return type and all those things you will see it in the future chapters. But for now, just remember that the main method doesn't return anything. That's why the return type is void. Okay. So, any questions on this one so far? Am I audible? You don't have I'm just speaking on.
Yes, yes, we're audible.
Yeah, everything is clear. Subbu.
Okay, fine. Now let me go into this variables section. Okay. So what is a variable in Java? Variables are nothing but value holders. That means they store some values. Okay. So how do we declare a variable in Java? Okay. So to declare a variable, first we have to use a data type. We'll see data types in the next chapter. Okay. But just remember at this moment that we use a data type here and we have to use a variable name. Okay. And we can assign a value to this one by using this equals to some value. Okay. Examples are int a. Int is the data type here. That means the variable name is a. Okay. That means this variable a, it stores the integer data type values. So int a equals to 9. Okay. Similarly, C1. This C1, it is a character data type variable. That's why it stores a character. Character is nothing but something, a single letter in single quotes. Okay. So it stores a character. C1 stores a character data type value. Okay. So let me show you this example here. Okay. So if I go into this one, okay, let me go here. Okay. I'm not following any other here because all these programs I have already created them for you here. I'll share each and every time I'll share you all these things, but I'll share you this document also. Okay, you can practice the examples from this document also. Okay. Okay. Now let me go here. Okay. I'm creating a new class here and the class name variables example. Okay. And okay, I'm using public static mine, but for you guys, I prefer you to practice with public static writing public static void main. Okay. Okay. Now let me go here. Okay. So now I'm creating some variable int a equals to 10. Okay. Int b equals to 30. Okay. These are the two variables I have created. Okay. How I have to give the data type. Data type is nothing but an integer data type I have given, and I have to give a name, and I can assign a value to this one. Now, if I want to print this one, system.out.println, I can say a value is, okay, and then a plus symbol plus a, and b value is, let's say, plus b. And if I run this one, run as Java application, it will show me the a value is 10 and b value is 30. Simple concept. Okay, just use the data type and then variable name equals to some value assigned to that variable. Okay, any questions on this one? Okay, fine. The next important thing is, okay, so here how to create a variable. Okay, now how to print them. The next thing that you have to know is what are the different types of variables that we have. We have mainly 4 different types of variables. They are class variables. Okay, class variables is one thing, and instance variables. Okay, instance variables is another one. Local variables. Okay, and also block variables. Okay, but people generally use the same term local variables for block variables also. Okay, don't worry about that. The main important things that you have to understand here is, okay, in class variables. The first one is class variables, or they are also called static variables. Class variables are static variables. Okay, and instance variables are non-static variables, local variables, and block variables. Okay, so what are class variables? What are class variables? Okay, so let me go to this example here. Sorry, guys. Okay, here if you see, this is my class. Where I have created these variables, I have created within this method, within the main method, I have created these variables. Okay, but instead of this, okay, let me go here. Okay, if I create these variables with a static keyword, okay, with a static keyword inside a class outside of any methods, okay, that means I'm creating these variables outside of this method, okay, and inside this class, okay, and with this keyword static, that means this is a static variable, okay. Okay, what does it exactly mean by static variable? Static variable means something that is global, okay, something that belongs to the class and not to any objects. It belongs to the class, that means it is global, okay. So similarly, the second one also, it belongs to the class and it is global, that means these values are common for all the objects, okay. Now let me show you this one, okay. So let me run this one. So a value is 10 and b value is 30. Okay, fine. Okay. Now let me do one thing. Let me create an object for this one. Okay. Let me delete this one. I'm creating an object variable example. Okay. I'll say where example one equals to new variable example. Okay. So this is the first object I have created. Okay. I'm saying like system.out.println where example one dot a dot b. Okay, so I'm accessing like these. I have created an object and I'm accessing these static variables using these objects and I am printing them. Run as Java application. Okay, I'm printing 10 and 30. Okay, for example, if I say like where example one, let me create like another object also. Okay, I have created another object here and the name of that object is where example 2. Okay, and I'm saying like 2 and 2. Okay, let me run as, okay. So for the first object it is 10 and 30. For the second object also it is 10 and 30. Okay, now let me show you this one. I'm changing like for this variable example 2. Okay, I'm changing these values. Variable example 2 dot a equals to, let's say I'm giving like 100. Okay, and the same thing dot b equals to, let's say I'm giving like 300. Okay, and now I'll print these values again. Okay, I'll just say that system.out.println. I'm printing some line here. Okay, and once that line is printed, then I'm printing these values again, variable example 1 dot a and variable. See here, initially I have created like two objects. Let me move this object also a little bit upper so that you'll understand this one. Okay, okay. So what I have done, I have created two static variables a and b with values 10 and 30. Okay, and within this main method I have created two objects. One is variable example 1, variable example 2. These are the two objects that I have created, and initially I am printing the values here. So a and b values, what are they? 10 and 30, and this is also 10 and 30, variable 2 example. Now for variable example 2, that means for the second object, I am changing the value of a to 100 and the value of b to 300. So what I expect for variable example 1, it should print here, it should print only 10 and 30, and for variable example 2, since I have changed these values, okay, it should print 100 and 300. But if we execute this one, Okay, see what it is printing. Even for variable example one also it is printing 100 and 300. The reason is when we say something as static, that means they are global. They belong to the class. They don't belong to the object. That is why once you change it for one of the objects, this value will be changed for all the objects. Do you remember? Okay. Do you understand this one? The static variables?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is very clear.
Okay. Now the next one is these static variables are also called class variables. Just remember this. Okay. Class variables. Why do we say class variable? Because they belong to the class. Okay. Class variables are variables declared within the class body outside of any method or block and declared with keyword static keyword. Class variables have the longest scope. They are created when the class is loaded. Okay. So when the class is loaded into JVM, then itself the memory will be allocated for these class variables. That's why they have the longest scope in JVM and remain in memory as long as the class remains loaded in the JVM. Okay. Okay. Now class variables or static variables are accessed directly within the same class. Okay. We'll come to this point later. Okay. Just for explaining you the difference between these class variables and instance variables, I'm showing you this example. Okay. Now instance variables. What are instance variables? Instance variables are variables declared within the class body outside of any method or block and declared without a static keyword. Okay. Now we have seen this one. Okay. Now we have, let's say we are declaring these variables outside of any method with this keyword, without this keyword static. Okay. So I'm removing this keyword static. Okay. So when we remove these keywords like static here, these are declared outside of any method within the class. These are called instance variables. Okay. Now these became, okay, instance variables. Okay. And this is also an instance variable. Okay. So now these become instance variables. Okay. Now let us say I have created like two objects here. One is variable example 1, variable example 2, and I am printing the values of A and B. Okay. For both of these variable example 1.a. So what does it print? Initially it prints 10 and 30. Now what I'm doing is I am changing the values of A and B to only the second object, not the first object. Okay. So once I change this one for the second object, and again I'm printing example 1 dot a, example 1 dot b, example 2 dot a. I'm printing like in the values for both the objects. Okay. So now if I run this one, what happens? Just observe this difference here. Okay. So here like I have 1030, and even though I changed it like in case of static. Okay. Even though I changed it for just one object, it is changing for all the objects. The values are changing for all of them. That's why they're called static. That means class will be, because they belong to the class, all the values will be changed. But now if I declare instance variables means something that belong to the object. Instance means an object. Okay. Now we made these variables belong to an object. So once we change it for one particular object, only for that particular object it will change. Okay. Let me run this one. Run as Java application. Okay. See. Okay. See. Now for variable example 1, nothing is changed. It is showing only 10 and 30. But for this example 2, it is changed to 100 and 300. Okay. Do you understand this difference? When I declare something as static means that belongs to the class. That means those values will be same for all the objects. So if you change the static value for one of these variables, okay, it will be changed for all the objects. But in case of instance variables, instance means that belongs to the instance object. So if you change it for a particular object, only for that particular object the value will be changed and not for all the objects. Do you understand this difference? Or any questions?
Yes, it is very clear now.
Okay, fine. Now, yeah, now let's get into local variables. What are local variables and what are, okay, instance variables are variables declared within the class body outside of any method or block and declared without static keyword. Instance variables have the second highest scope. Okay, the first longest scope is for definitely these class variables because they will be created whenever the class is loaded into the memory. But instance variables means object, something that belongs to the object. Okay, they have the second highest scope. Instance variables are created when the new class instance is created. That means whenever this object is created, okay, like this, okay, then they will be allocated memory. Okay, that's why they have the second highest scope and live until the instance is removed from the memory. Instance variables can be accessed directly inside. Okay, we'll see this one. Okay, okay. Now, for the time being, again, just understand what are these static variables. Okay, what are these class variables, and sorry, what are the static variables, what are instance variables, what are local variables, and what are block variables. Okay, so local variables, what are local variables? Local variables are declared within a method body. Okay, so class variables and instance variables, we declare them outside of this method. Okay, local variables are declared within a method. Okay, now this is main is a method, right? This is one method. So I'll say int c is equal to something like let's say 400 I'm giving. Okay, so this is a local variable. Okay, for local variables you don't need to use like any objects or anything, because they'll be used locally within this method. So I can directly say system.out.println, okay, c value is okay plus c. Okay, and if I run this one, Java application, okay, c value is 400. Okay, local variables are declared within the method. Okay, now what are block variables? Okay, block variables are variables declared within a block, such as an init block or within a for loop. Okay, I'll just show you this one. Just okay, we'll see these for loops in the future chapters. Okay, for int I equals to 0, I is less than some 10, I plus plus. Okay, I'm declaring like one more variable int a is equal to some 20 system.out.println. Okay, yeah. Okay, so here I have written a for loop here. Okay, within this for loop I'm using some variables. What are they? Int I equals to 0. Int I is one variable. Similarly, I'm using another variable int a. These are nothing but block variables. Okay, anything that is used within a block like an init block or within a loop like a for loop. So these are all block variables. Okay, if I run this one, it will like print this 20 number 20. Okay, for 10 times. I is equal to 0, I is less than 10. I'm printing this variable with the value of a 10 times. Okay, so we are using this within a for loop. So these are block variables. Okay, do you understand now, like what are block variables, what are local variables, what are instance variables, and what are static variables?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Now like yeah, okay. So now tell me like what is a static variable?
Yeah, static variable is that variable which is created in the class and its value doesn't get changes.
Okay, static variable
So
in the class, but outside of where do we
its
create it?
value gets, whenever we change whenever you change its value gets changed in all of the objects.
Yeah, that means it is global, and moreover, we have to use the keyword static for that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what is like an instance variable?
Yeah, instance variable is a variable that values get changed in all of the objects. If a single time also we change its value in the local
I mean,
level
how do we declare an instance variable?
by just removing a static and just writing it like whatever the
Yeah.
value, like whatever type of variable it is,
Yeah,
like
we have to
int.
create that variable within the class, but without
Yeah,
the I mean, outside of any method, without the keyword static.
yeah,
Okay. Okay,
yes,
fine. And those values depend on the object. That means if we change it for a particular object, only for that object only, the values will change.
yeah,
Okay, and what is
yes.
a local variable?
Local variable is a variable that is declared inside a main method.
Not main method, inside a method,
Okay,
any method. Okay, we'll see like a lot
okay,
of
inside a main.
lot other methods, okay, in future, like what a method and everything is. But inside a method, like, we declare it. Okay, what is a block variable?
Block variable is the variable it is working inside a for loop only. You have said any functionality. If you're creating any functionality, then we are using it.
Yeah, in any block or in any for loop or anywhere, if we create a variable, that is a block variable. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So now
may I know what is that? Uh, if we compare the like life of both a local and like block variable, it will be the
yeah,
higher.
yeah. So definitely local variable will be the higher, because
Yeah,
whenever
yeah.
the method is loaded, like, I'll show you this. You see here, they live as long as the method which is declared remains on the stack. Okay, whenever we are executing that, at that time the method will be loaded into the memory, right? At that time
Yeah.
the objects will be created for this one. Again, block variables have the lowest life. Okay, because within a method we'll have, like, these for loops and everything. So block variables are declared within a block, such as init block or within a for loop. They live only during the execution of the block and are the shortest living variables.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Okay. Now you understand, like, you understood these different kinds of variables that we have. Okay. So we have, like, class variables, instance variables, local variables, and block variables. But how do we access, like, these variables? Okay. How do we access these variables? Let me show you that one. Okay. If I go into this one, okay, let us say I'm creating something called static. Okay, static means these are class level variables. Okay, I have created these class level variables. Okay, let me create, like, some other method also. Okay, public void. Okay, some test one. This is my method. System.out.println. Okay, I'm creating another method also, which is public static. Okay, void test2. This is another, you will learn more about, like, what these methods are, and, like, how to create these methods. But just for now, just remember that this is an instance method. Okay, and this is a static method that we have created. Just like the variables, also for methods also we can have instance methods and static methods. Static methods are generally declared as, like, with this keyword static, and if for instance methods we don't have this static keyword in this one. Okay, so how do we access these variables? Okay, now within the same class, okay, within the same class, we can access these static variables anywhere in any method without creating an object. That means I can directly say system.out.println a. It won't give you any error. Similarly, I can directly say in a static method also system.out.println b. It won't give me like any error. Okay, I can directly access it within the same class. Okay, the static variables can be accessed anywhere without creating an object. Okay, but if you want to access these in a different class, okay, in a different class, if you want to access this, then you have to use the class name. Why we should use the class name? Why not an object? Because these variables belong to the class, not to an object. That is why we have to use a class name. Okay, here, like, within the same class I have created this method, so I don't need to use a class name here, so I can directly access them. But let me say, like, I'm creating another class here, which is yeah, let's say variable example2. Okay, in this variable example2, I'm just removing, like, everything. Main method, let me keep this one. Okay, let me create another method, public, okay, void, okay, some test3 method I'm creating. Okay, so let's say this is the variable example, and these are the static fields I have. Okay, so in this one, within the same class, whether it is an instance method or a static method, I don't need to use, I don't need to create an object or I don't need to use a class name. But within a different one, within a different class, okay, in a different class, if I want to access that one, okay, I'll say like system.out.println, okay, I have to use the class name here. So variable example dot a. Okay, similarly in a static method also I have to use the class name dot b. Okay, do you understand how to access static variables? Static variables can be accessed within the same class. You don't need to use any class name or you don't need to create an object. You can directly access them. But in a different class, you have to use the class name here. If you don't use a class name, it will throw an error. What is the error that it throws? A cannot be resolved into a variable. It doesn't know like what A is. You have to tell them that, okay, I want to get it from this class. And moreover, since this is a class variable, I can access it directly by using class name. Okay, variable example dot a. Okay. Okay, so that is about static variables. Static variables always should be accessed using class name, not with an object. See, you'll see here, like in this one. Okay, I'm trying to access these class variables using an object. It won't throw you an error, but it will show you some warning message saying that. Okay, let me. Just give me 1 second. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so what is the warning message it is showing? The static field variable example.a should be accessed in a static way. Static way means you have to use the class name. That's what it is saying. You don't need to create an object for accessing a static variable or class variable because it belongs to the class. It doesn't belong to an object. So you don't need to use an object. Okay, so in order to access a static variable, if it is within the same class, you don't need to use the class name also. You can directly access them. But if it is a different class, then you have to use the class name. Okay, now let me make these as instance variables and let's see what happens. Okay, if I make these as instance variables, okay, everything is showing an error here. Okay, because now we have made this as a instance variable. You have to create an object here. Okay, variable. I'm sorry. Okay, so okay, yeah. So for instance variables, now this we made it as an instance variable. Okay, instance variables can be accessed directly within an instance method. Okay, but in a static methods, for example, this public static void main, public static void test2 public static void main, you have to use objects for accessing these values. So here I'll create an object variable example, some v1 equals to new variable example. Okay, and then I have to use the object dot that value. Okay, so if it is an instance variable, instance variables can be accessed within the same class. This is only within the same class. Instance variables can be accessed directly, but if it is a static method, okay, then you have to create an object. That's why, like, here we have created objects, so that's why it's not giving any error. Okay, so how do we access the instance variables within the same class? If it is an instance method, we can access it directly. If it is a static method, then we have to create an object to access those variables. Similarly, here in a different class, you have to create an object for the first class because this is we are trying to access the instance variables. You cannot access instance variables using class name. You have to create an object for a variable example v1 equals to new variable example. Okay, so now I will use this. In a different class, you have to create an object. Okay, whether it is a instance method or static method, you have to create an object. Okay, do you understand this one? How to access static variables and
Yes.
okay, now
Mm.
let me go here. Let me just show you this one. Okay, so just a minute. Accessing instance variables in instance methods. Okay, if it is same class, it can be accessed directly. If it is a different class, we should create an object. Accessing instance variables in static methods, we should create an object even if it is same class or a different class. Okay, access instance. Okay, this is about methods. Again, the same thing. Just like these variables. Okay, static variables. Accessing static variables in the same class can be accessed directly. In a different class, we have to use class name because these are static variables. Okay, and static variables in static methods. In the same class, we can access them directly. In a different class, we have to use a class name. Okay, now coming to the block variables and local variables. Okay, since they are created within a method, you don't need to create an object for accessing them. You can directly access them. For example, this is a local variable I have created within the main method, so I can access it directly. And you cannot access a local variable outside of this method because it is local to that method only. Okay, you can access them directly. These block variables. Suppose if you see this block variable, int age equal 20 I have created, so I can access this directly. Okay, any questions so far? Do you
No.
guys understand this one? What are see?
Yeah,
This is one of the important concept. This variable types and how do we access them? Because in almost all the interviews I ask this question. What is a static variable? What is an instance variable? How do you access a static variable? How do you access an instance variable? So these set of questions I commonly ask to anyone in any interviews. Okay, so this is important. Just go through the document. I'll upload this documents into this. Okay, now it's already 8:04. Okay, so let me stop here. So we have covered it until this one variables here. So I'll cover the interview questions tomorrow. Okay. From tomorrow onwards, it will be a little bit faster. But if you feel that it is fast that you cannot understand, let me know. Okay. But so far today we have covered how to install Java and Eclipse, the Java basics. We have covered what does Java contain, JDK, JRE, and JVM. So and we have seen what is class and object and how to create an object and how to access the variables using the object. We have seen what are variables and what are the different types of variables that we have, static, instance, local, and block variables we have seen. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see the interview questions and we'll go to the next chapter tomorrow. Okay. 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 So everyone, any questions or anything you can ask me. Just for 2 minutes. If you have any questions, let me know. Sumit, are you there on the call? Sumit. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I think we have to practice first, then I think we will get a question after that, I guess.
Yeah. Just practice whatever I'm telling you. If you practice these things at this moment, that should be enough for you. Okay. Just practice practice it again and again, then you'll be good. Okay, yeah, fine then. We'll continue this one tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock again. Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Bye bye.